I'm Tony Barresi, and it's my pleasure to present to you QuestEx Gold and Copper Limited. QuestEx is a mineral exploration company with a focus on gold and copper exploration in British Columbia and Yukon. Over the last 14 months, we've been dedicated to launching QuestEx as a company that will stand out among our peers. We have one of the most enviable property portfolios of any company in the exploration sector and have attracted a leading team of technical experts and management with strong capital markets and M&A experience. But I don't expect you to just take my word for it. Keep watching, and I'll demonstrate the potential for discovery on our exploration properties and that we have the right team to unlock that potential. I will be making forward-looking statements. All right, here they are. QuestEx's British Columbia property portfolio, not an insignificant amount of ground. We have one of the largest land packages in the province, centered in two of the province's most prospective metallogenic regions, the Golden Triangle and the Toodoggone District. The Golden Triangle, in particular, has in recent years been benefiting from the development of new mines, including Newcrest's Red Chris mine and Pretium's Brucejack mine, as well as the definition of huge porphyry copper gold deposits on Seabridge's KSM property and farther north at Galore Creek and Shaft Creek. The region also boasts brand new exciting discoveries, for example, Saddle North and Saddle South on GT Gold's Tatoga property and Goldstorm on Tudor Gold's Treaty Creek property. Furthermore, the region is benefiting from a newly built 287 kilovolt power line with excess capacity, new and better road access, and development of a growing, experienced local workforce. With 1,100 square kilometers of ground, QuestEx has the third largest land package in the Golden Triangle behind Seabridge and Pretium. But it takes more than good ground to build value. You need a strong technical team to unlock the mineral potential and management with vision and experience in capital markets and M&A. We believe we have among the best of both. Our technical team is led by myself and our VP Exploration, Dave Fleming. Dave has over 35 years of mineral exploration experience. Combined, our technical staff and advisors have over 200 years of experience in mineral exploration and discovery. I'm especially proud of the technical advisors that we have been able to attract, which include Jim Oliver and John Bradford, international mineral deposit specialists, each with over 35 years of experience, and Todd Ballantyne, a geophysicist with over 32 years of global experience. Our management team is led by our CEO, Joe Mullen, a Harvard-educated former Goldman Sachs financial analyst, myself, and Tim Thiessen, a 23-year veteran of the industry. I'll take this opportunity to introduce myself. I'm Tony Barresi, the president of QuestEx Gold and Copper. I have a doctorate in geology from Dalhousie University, where I wrote a thesis that investigated the tectonic and magmatic causes of mineralization in the Golden Triangle, where QuestEx has most of its properties. I have 17 years of experience in mineral exploration, and recently I served as the VP Exploration and then president of Triumph Gold. At Triumph, I built a 50-person team that conducted 3 seasons of some of Yukon's most successful exploration, making new discoveries of high-grade mineralization at the Wow and Blue Sky breccia systems. During that time, we brought the company's share price from 4 cents when I started to a high of over 80 cents on the backs of successive, exciting drill campaigns. I'm excited to bring my expertise to QuestEx and to work with the management and exploration teams to vigorously explore our extraordinary portfolio of properties. Let's zoom in on British Columbia and take a look at some of QuestEx's property portfolio. We have 1 property, Sophia, in the prolific Toodoggone District, 3 properties in the Red Chris mining camp in the northern corner of the Golden Triangle, and 2 properties in the heart of the Golden Triangle within the Bronson Sulphurets district. We'll take a closer look at the opportunities for discovery and property advancement that QuestEx is poised to undertake on a few of these properties. This is the Red Chris district. Right now, the Red Chris district is one of the hottest in Canada for a variety of reasons. It's host to one of BC's newest mines, the Red Chris mine, of which 70% was bought by Newcrest Mining in August 2019 for $804 million. Newcrest appears to be trying to consolidate the district, having also purchased the GJ property from Skeena Resources for $9 million. Also really importantly, since 2016, GT Gold has made 2 new discoveries on their Tatoga property, including a world-class porphyry copper gold system at Saddle North. I'd like to point out that QuestEx's properties, shown in blue on this map, occupy a large portion of the district and border GT Gold's Tatoga property to the east and west, as well as Newcrest's GJ property and the Red Chris mine. Within the district, in addition to the Red Chris mine, there are 3 other porphyry copper gold deposits. The Donley deposit on Newcrest's GJ property, the Maybon deposit on QuestEx North Rock property, and the next one is a big deal. We'd like to congratulate our neighbors GT Gold on announcing their maiden resource for the Saddle North deposit. The discovery drill hole for this deposit was only collared in 2017, and in just a few short exploration seasons, GT's been able to define a 298 million ton indicated and 543 million ton inferred resource, with about 9 million ounces gold and 4.8 billion pounds copper. Charlie Gregg and Paul Harbridge and the whole GT Gold team have done an amazing job advancing this project from a grassroots discovery to a world-class resource. And we're excited that they plan to have a PEA by the end of the year and yet another maiden resource, this time for their Saddle South discovery in 2021. In recent years, it's become clear that the mineral systems in this area are nearly all related to a suite of late Triassic intrusions, which are peppered across the district. They're shown as purple blobs on the map. These intrusions are the best vectors for discovery of new mineral deposits, especially where they have not seen significant historical exploration. And a large proportion of the underexplored Triassic intrusions lie within QuestEx's mineral tenure. In fact, on our North Rock property within the Maybon intrusion, we have already defined a 142 million ton deposit with over 1 million ounces gold and more than 690 million pounds copper. Among the most important areas within the district is a 10-kilometer long belt of intrusions that extends from GT Gold's Tatoga property onto QuestEx's Castle property. The belt is host to the Saddle North and Saddle South discoveries on the Tatoga property and porphyry copper gold mineralization that has been demonstrated with limited drilling at Castle Main and Castle East on QuestEx ground. Discovery and delineation of Saddle North and Saddle South required over 6,700 meters of drilling in 173 drill holes. However, the comparatively long stretch of the trend that lies on QuestEx's Castle property is mostly unexplored by drilling, with only 25 drill holes. Where it has been tested on the Castle property, drilling was very shallow with average depths of only 250 meters, which is much shallower than where high-grade mineralization was intersected at Saddle, North, and at Red Chris. So what are the exploration opportunities at Castle? The first exploration hypothesis is simple. The Castle-Saddle trend is fertile ground for mineral deposits. Drill it. Of the 6.5 kilometers of the trend that lies on QuestEx ground, less than 2 kilometers have been tested by drilling at all. And porphyry copper gold mineralization was intersected in almost every hole where it was tested. Some of the areas that have yet to be tested along the Castle-Saddle trend are really compelling targets too. For instance, there's a broad area between Castle Main and Castle East where grab samples have returned copper values up to 3.8%. The second opportunity is to look at known deposits in the district and see if we can learn anything from them that would allow us to more intelligently test the mineralized zones that we already have discovered, Castle Main and Castle East. The best example to look at is the Red Chris mine. The mineralization associated with this deposit was known since at least the mid-50s, and all kinds of companies owned that property and explored that property, and some of them even allowed their claims to lapse. The problem is that the near-surface expression of that deposit just isn't that large or high grade, but it is a big high-grade deposit. In the 2000s, Imperial Metals began testing the deposit with deep drill holes and began making greater than 1,000-meter deep or 1,000-meter long intersections with very high-grade included intervals that were hundreds of meters long. Rapidly after that, the previously floundering deposit became a mine, and now Newcrest is operating the mine and continuing to conduct deep drilling at Red Chris and regionally. This figure shows some of the deep drilling that Newcrest is conducting in the east zone at Red Chris. Note hole RC611 with 276 meters of 3.3 grams per ton gold and 1.77% copper. That intersection starts at 684 meters, over 150 meters deeper than Castle has ever been drilled. So what do we learn from this about Red Chris? It's steep and deep. The surface expression is small. The volume is large because of vertical extent, and the high-grade core that makes it worth mining is very high grade and deep. Taking a look at other deposits in the region, we see the same thing. These are cross-sections from QuestEx's Maybon deposit and GT Gold's Saddle North deposit. In both, the geometry and location of high-grade mineralization is steep and deep. So on the Castle property, where porphyry copper gold mineralization has been intersected by drilling, has it ever been tested with steep and deep drill holes? Not once. Therefore, the second exploration opportunity at Castle, and really on all of QuestEx's properties in the district, is to set up a drill on the Triassic intrusions and drill steep and deep. In 2021, QuestEx is planning an aggressive drill program on Castle to test the Triassic intrusions for Saddle and Red Chris porphyry copper gold style deposits. The exploration potential is real. The path to success has already been demonstrated by our neighbors, GT Gold and by Newcrest. The test is simple, but the reward could be vast. Next, we're going to stay in the Golden Triangle and look at QuestEx's land position in the Bronson Sulphurets district, right in the heart of the Golden Triangle. QuestEx has one of the largest land packages in this part of the Golden Triangle. Our land position is divided between two properties, the KSP property in the north and the contiguous Kingpin property to the south. Together, the properties extend 60 kilometers from end to end and encompass 640 square kilometers. We border important properties owned by Garibaldi Resources, Seabridge, Tudor Gold, Teuton, and Metallus Resources. The region, although once remote, has benefited from AltaGas's hydroelectric projects that pushed roads through the northern portion of QuestEx's KSP property, dramatically improving access and at the same time reducing potential future infrastructure-related costs. The southern portion of the land package is located just north of the historic Grand Duke mine, which is accessed by road from the deepwater port town of Stewart. QuestEx's properties in the district are situated between and overlap with two very important mining and exploration areas, the Sulphurets district to the east and the Bronson corridor to the west. At the Bronson corridor, there are high-grade shear-hosted gold veins at the past-producing Snip and Johnny Mountain mines. This style of mineralization extends onto the KSP property and includes QuestEx's Inel showing. To the east, the Sulphurets district is in the land of giant porphyries, with Seabridge's massive deposits at Kerr, Sulphurets, Mitchell, and Ironcap. The district also boasts Pretium's Brucejack gold mine and the world-renowned Eskay Creek VMS deposit. Combined, these two areas are so well endowed with metal, they form one of the most outstanding exploration districts in the world. Geologists have spent the last half-century trying to decode the geology to figure out what has made this area so special. Recent work by a number of researchers, led in part by Joanne Nelson, one of QuestEx's technical advisors, have really nailed down some of the critical controls. You need mechanisms to bring the metals closer to surface and concentrate them. And in this part of the Golden Triangle, there are two related ways that happened. First, through magmas that rose through the crust, and second, long-lived and deep penetrating fault lines, which provided pathways and space for the magmas and associated ore-bearing fluids. So if you look at the Sulphurets district, those deposits are associated with two things that you can clearly see on the map. First, those little pink blobs, which are the magmas or intrusions. And second, the black line with the little triangles on it. That's a fault named the Sulphurets thrust. Joanne and her colleagues have demonstrated that the Sulphurets thrust is a long-lived fault that taps deep into the crust and has moved in multiple directions over time, facilitating major ore genesis. So why is that important to QuestEx, where our properties are 20 kilometers to the west? Take a look at the KSP property. Here, we don't just have a few little pink blobs, but we have a major amount of intrusive rock that is the same composition, same age as what is in the Sulphurets district. Those intrusions could potentially have driven similar systems, similar porphyry copper gold mineralizing systems as in the Sulphurets district. And in addition to that, there is another major fault system that bisects the KSP property, just like at Sulphurets. The KSP property is essentially, geologically, a lesser explored carbon copy of the Sulphurets district, with all the same potential for giant porphyries and gold deposits. And now, with a road crossing the property, which gives it some of the most favorable infrastructure in the district in terms of both road access and power. KSP is host to dozens of mineral occurrences that have seen variable amounts of early stage exploration. Because the property was once very remote, most historical exploration focused on high-grade gold potential. This resulted in the discovery of the Enel showing. Enel is a high-grade, structurally controlled gold system similar to those at the nearby Snip and Johnny Mountain mines. It has seen some spectacular drill intersections, including 41 grams per ton gold over 7.5 meters, and an astonishing 4,470 grams gold over half a meter. QuestEx is currently advancing Enel by modeling the geology and mineralization in 3D to determine if a high-grade resource can be defined for this impressive showing. In addition to high-grade gold targets, KSP is also prospective for copper-gold porphyry systems, and this is the land of giant porphyries with Seabridge's, Kerr, Sulphurets, Mitchell, and Iron Cap deposits just to the east, and Galore Creek and Shaft Creek to the north. Although there are a few known porphyry prospects on the KSP property, they have been explored piecemeal, mainly with a focus on areas that displayed potential for gold mineralization, not for the associated copper mineralization that is typically in the guts of a porphyry system. Big porphyries have big footprints, and through careful scrutiny of historical data, QuestEx has developed 4 large footprint porphyry targets on the KSP property. Each of these footprints contain multiple showings that were historically explored with a focus on near-surface gold. However, gold mineralization is rarely the best vector into the guts of a porphyry system. QuestEx is dedicated to conducting more thorough drill tests of these underexplored but high-potential targets in 2021. I hope that these 2 examples have demonstrated that QuestEx gold and copper has valuable mineral exploration properties. But not just that the team at QuestEx is driven to succeed. We are developing thoroughly geologically justified exploration plans for our properties, and will successfully execute aggressive multi-property drill programs in 2021. QuestEx has a number of other properties in Yukon and BC that I have not touched on in this presentation. In the upcoming weeks and months, stay tuned as I annotate our exploration plans and demonstrate our excitement about our property portfolio with new videos. Before I finish, I'll touch on our capital structure and valuation. We have less than 24 million shares outstanding, and as of September 18th, a 70-cent share price and a $15 million market cap. Our largest shareholder is Newmont at a bit less than 19%. We believe that QuestEx is significantly undervalued compared to our peers, some of whom are listed on this slide. And I'd like to point out that many of these companies, our peers, all of whom have market caps that are at least double ours, have just 1 or 2 land packages that they're exploring, while we have many. For QuestEx, catalysts for growth include both exploration success and improved investor awareness of the company. Our current state is that of a tabula rasa, a blank slate, a new brand, and we're hitting the street hard to tell QuestEx's story. What's the value proposition with QuestEx Gold and Copper? We have one of the most enviable portfolios of properties of any company in our sector. We're significantly undervalued compared to our peers, and we've assembled new, keen, and vigorous management and technical teams with the know-how, geological acumen, and energy to get out there and do the hard exploration work that it takes to make new discoveries and define deposits, and we're going for it. I promise you one thing, it's going to be a wild ride for QuestEx over the next few years. Thank you for taking the time to become familiar with QuestEx Gold and Copper Limited.